Baby, when I tell you playing around has really helped me out, look at her. Look at her. Let me come closer for y'all, because baby, when I tell y'all, look at this. I'm wearing an entire full face with no powder. No powder. You see, we done managed to achieve a full coverage. No blush, no highlighter, no setting spray, no sponges, and I'm sitting back looking like oily skin, looking this good. No mascara, no eyeliner, no brows, no lipstick, no lip gloss. Honey, you gotta watch. I'm telling you, just get into this video, honey. Make sure before we get started, make sure you are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit it, honey. It's free 99 and we're on our road to 1,000. But enough talking, let's get into this intro so we can get into this tutorial. I guess on my hair, she look all right. And with that actually sitting there like this frames, and I had to have them, sis. All fab here. I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Why so serious? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here, and in today's video, I know it sounds crazy because this is something I never thought I would be doing, but I am bringing you my no powder foundation routine. No powder? As someone with oily skin, as someone who loves to bake each and every day, I never thought it would happen, but lately my skin has been going through some issues. I said I'm going to bring you all my skincare routine pretty soon, and I'm going to be doing that, but it's because of my skincare routine that every now and then I get some dry and flaky patches, and those aren't cute, especially if you try to put powder on top of it and it accentuates texture. Really not looking cute. The thing is, one day I was playing around in makeup and completely forgot to set it because I got some really good news. So I raced out to meet up with a friend, and it wasn't until I was headed back home that I realized, wait, Torrence, you still haven't set things, and although they aren't holding up the way you want them to, they truly are holding their own. So today I'm going to be showing you, this routine has not been perfected yet because, you know, behind the scenes I'm always changing different brushes, different products, but I want to show you all so far what is my favorite way of getting what I consider a full coverage routine for my skin without using any powder. So if you all would like to know how I achieve this look, just continue to watch. If possible, I'm going to try to make this an uncut video so that way you all see everything that's going on. You don't have to worry about me jump cutting. Oh, did he skip this? Did he add this? Did he do that? I'm going to leave all tools and products in the description bar below. Right now, my skin is completely bare besides skincare. The shine you see is just moisturizer. I do have a lip oil on that should be 99% gone. I'm getting the slightest amount of slip when I rub my lips together, but we don't want to waste too much time, so we're going to go ahead and get this started. And I'm just not realizing these two pieces keep hanging right here, and I don't got no clip or nothing to hold them back, so they're just going to have to be in the way. First thing first, primer. I find myself using primer almost every single time I do my makeup. The thing is, that always includes the extra step of one, using an oily primer in my T-zone, a natural primer everywhere else, and then having to wash my fingers because I put two different types of primers on, and I don't want to touch my makeup bottles. I've completely skipped primer, and the only thing I use is an eye primer because I've realized my biggest concerns are A, oil breaking through, 2, creasing, and 3, hyperpigmentation. With an eye primer like my favorite, the Soft Ochre Matte Paint Pot, I use her all the time on my eyes. The thing is, when you look at the color of this, you can see just how bright she is compared to my complexion. So when I put her on the lids of the eyes, she's amazing because she makes things jump out and pop at you with the eyeshadow. On the rest of the face, when I'm covering like a hyperpigmentation spot right here, I don't need that covering that. I don't need that screaming out and jumping too. Covering it, it can do. Jumping out, no. So I have a more flesh tone color for me, and this one is called Contemplative Slate. I'm gonna leave in the description bar below whether you have warm skin, 3 different options, and if you have cool skin, 3 different options. For medium tan skin, I feel as if this is the best match for me. And to apply this to the eyes, we are going to use the Sigma E35 Taper Blending Brush. This is my personal one here, so I don't mind just dipping straight into it, even though I'm going to disinfect it when we're through. And what I'm going to do is just take this and just load my brush up. And when I tell you all, this stuff is full coverage. This stuff lasts. It's my favorite eye primer. But when you see the color on it, that's what does it for me. My biggest concerns are the outer corners here where I have the most pigmentation, as well as underneath the eyes where I have the most creasing. There is some hyperpigmentation, well, not necessarily hyperpigmentation. There are some veins on the top of my lids here that bring a little darkness, so we're going to cover that as well. But my main area is underneath the eye. And if I did this with the soft ochre, I promise you, things would be so bright that they would scream at you. So we're going to take what's left on my brush and we're just going to put that on the lid here. And we're going to just blend this out. And when I tell you, you can see just how well that color is blending into my skin. Take what's left, come up on the lid. My main thing is just getting all the way up at least to the crease. Anything above that usually doesn't give me issues. It's usually the lines and veins that are right here on the lid that peek through. And just to make sure I don't have any creasing or anything, I usually like to pull the skin down right here and make sure that primer is all the way in. So let me put this mirror down and we're all the way in there. And by using this small blending brush, I'm not packing on a ton of product, and you can just see, look at on this side, how much coverage we already have. No foundation, no concealer. This is just our eye base. And just to make sure we don't have harsh lines, we're gonna blend that out. Looking fabulous already, honey. And because we have you all here, normally we would have jump cut. I think we may be able to get this whole thing done on camera with you all right here so you all don't miss a thing. If you want to take this all the way up to the brows, you can. I just personally find as if it's not necessary for me, but I do have to take it at least all the way up to the crease and diffuse the edges from there. And the best thing about using a real good eye primer is the fact that they do not have to be set. Whenever I'm doing eyeshadow, I like to set them, but it's not necessary. A place that I get really oily, sides of the nose. This is easily the spot that I get the most oil on my face. It loves to pool and collect there, as well as redness is where I get spots right. Redness is where I get redness in these spots right here. So adding a little eye primer in those spots instantly covers that. And just like with any good eye primer, that oil ain't gonna stand a chance. Eventually he gonna break through. But now on the sides of my nose, no redness. And I'm like, okay, what else do we want to cover? The last 2 spots I want to cover, we're gonna still use this brush here, is my creasing lines, my smile lines. Baby, y'all call them smile lines, I call them creasing lines, because baby, that's what makeup always think he gonna try. And with this not being bright as a concealer, I don't have to worry about that color screaming out and jumping out if my foundation can't cover it. Look at that blend there. Now, if you are just a natural born beautiful female, this is where you can stop. Because I'm a man and I have a 5 o'clock shadow, the last thing I like to cover is my entire beard area. As you all can see right here, everything appears to be good. I do have some hyperpigmentation right there on the forehead just because I had a bump the other day. So we're just going to cover that spot right there in the center of the forehead just because you want to draw some attention to yourself and ain't been invited to the party. But to cover the beard, get things going even faster, we're going to use the Sigma F80 Air Flat Kabuki brush. Baby, she dual fiber, so that means she's going to pick up less product. And this thing fits right there, bam, inside this. If you have another dual fiber brush, you can use it. But when I tell you, you can swirl this right there in that product, fabulous. I got a hiccup that is fighting me. Oh, it came up as a bird. But baby, I've been sitting here trying to talk without that, but this is what uncut gets you. So we're gonna come up, and to cover our 5 o'clock shadow, I'm gonna just stamp a stipple first, just so you all can see what kind of coverage this offers. And we're just gonna blend in one direction, going straight down. I am telling you all, the first time I tried this trick, it was like, oh my goodness, Torrence, where have you been with this all your life? You all can see how just putting that one color there, I'm instantly covering my 5 o'clock shadow, because when I shave, the hairs are covered, but they slightly sink right below the level of the skin and create a little, what I would say like is a pore that makeup can collect on top of. By putting this eye primer there, it'll fill in that spot and make it easier for makeup to sit on top of it instead of in it. And I want you all to look at this side-by-side comparison. Look at my skin on this side, the jawline there, and look at the jawline on this side. And I'm telling you, although foundation is usually really good for covering it, after a few hours, foundation can sink into that. I've come to find with this eye primer underneath it instead of a concealer or foundation, baby, I don't have to worry about that. And now we're just gonna go ahead and cover the rest of the beard since y'all saw how that looks. I'm telling you, I know a lot of people like to use orange correctors or peach correctors for their skin tone to cover their beard. I come to find that most concealers still, although they may offer the coverage, they don't offer the texture for my product to last all day. This MAC paint pot, baby, if y'all ever see anybody else get a collab with MAC, I promise you, it's been good for me. But if I ever get one, the one thing I'm gonna have to get in my collection is some skin tone paint pots, as well as some, I gotta have my own custom extra dimension skin finish. I know Oh Darling is absolutely fabulous, but I would want my own color just like the way Patrick did his own powder and make it limited edition, even though I know the world would need it. But look at this. Already, sis, we got full coverage. I know we about 10 minutes in, honey, but this is where most of my coverage is gonna come from. Because the one thing I want to cover is that beard, honey. I understand I'm a gay male, but I like to give off a feminine vibe, feminine energy, a feminine look. And I only like to take this down to my Adam's apple. And I like to just make sure everything is covered. And as you can see, we ain't did nothing but put on one product, which was our eye primer. And look at the kind of coverage we already dealing with, sis. Like, if your main concern like me was that 5 o'clock shadow and the hyperpigmentation spots, the under eyes are covered. The beard is covered, sis. Like, covered, sis. I still see a little spot right here in the bottom that I could check, and this is why you go back in while you're on camera and look at stuff just to make sure, because maybe I didn't blend it down far enough on this side. Okay, we good right there, huh? Yes, ma'am. The only other thing I noticed I did not do was curl my eyelashes, and I want to go ahead and do that before I get color on it. Off camera, I did accidentally start and do this one side. I'm not sure if you all can see up close. These lashes on this side do stick up a little higher than this side. So what we're going to do is go in and curl our lashes real quick, because I've come to find that most days I really don't care about putting mascara on lately either. I find that with mascara being a wet product, honey, she makes it a little harder for me to go throughout the day and not touch up, because if my concealer is wet but my mascara is dry, the last thing I need is my mascara to bleed onto my concealer underneath my eyes. And we're not going for nothing serious. We just doing a tiny little clamp on the outer end mostly to give us a wispy look. Baby, and look, the tiniest amount, like, it only looks just slightly tacky on my lash curler, because that eye primer, she's self-setting, honey. She's not coming off. She good to go. So now it's like, okay, Torrence, now you need some coverage, but the last thing I want to do is put on full coverage, because to me, full coverage is going to give everything away. It's going to look heavy and cakey. And the only thing we want to look heavy is the areas that we have covered around our beards. It's looking a little yellow now, but don't nobody make a complexion product quite like my baby Nars. My holy grail full coverage, sheer glow, she would be too much on a daily basis. But they got a lightweight reflecting foundation. My shade in all Nars foundations is medium dark 2. And foundations, it's the color Tahoe. When I tell you, you can hear how thin and watery this foundation is. When you pump it, you get the tiniest pumps. So what we're gonna do is start off with 3 here. If we need to add more, we can. And just to give me enough to get the job done quickly, I like to blend with my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. She fabulous. And y'all remember, I used this brush last Halloween. I'll leave that video linked right here above. I used that bad boy and well, I didn't accidentally, I purposely meant to use it, but I dyed this brush pink because I used it with a red foundation. And every time I washed it, that bad boy never came clean. Why is it the first time I used it to try this routine out, guess what came clean? Not thoroughly, but instead of being extremely pink, she looks more pink on camera than she is in person because she's pointing directly at you. But to me, she has the slightest faded color of pink to her. And if you didn't tell me anything about it, I probably wouldn't even rarely know. I would have barely recognized that that had happened. And right now I'm looking at those 3 pumps like I think I might need a 4th pump. But we're gonna go ahead and blend this out first. And if we want that, we can come back to it. Pick this up off the back of our hand. And what we're gonna do is just blend this out. I'm gonna do much more of a stippling motion. And what we're just trying to do is get coverage in the areas that doesn't have any and get our skin to look one blended, even color. I'm not really worried about getting full coverage. I'm just worried about evening out the skin. And by putting this over the entire face, we can help meld our natural skin complexion with that eye primer. And as you can see, look how fast this is blending out. When you got a good foundation and a good brush, because I'm telling y'all, do not sleep on e.l.f. Do not let the fact that they are an affordable brand hold you back from their products, because I don't think I've ever had a bad brush from e.l.f. I think I may have had one where the glue has separated, but as far as the quality of this brush, besides that, the way it performed once I glued it back on, absolutely fabulous. And trust me, even good high-end brushes can have, you know, sometimes a bad brush, but e.l.f. for the price, one of the best out there. And you see how fast we just blended all of that out, sis. And I kept saying, oh, I think I need me a 4th pump. It's a foundation like this that just makes you go, you know what, Torrence? You so used to going and doing extra and wanting a little bit more that you forget that you don't always need that. Look how fast we just blended all of this out. She's beautiful. Now, the thing is, although she's beautiful, and just looking at this, it's like, Torrence, are you worried about your beard in today's look with this light coverage foundation? Not at all. Are you worried about your dark under eye circles or your hyperpigmentation? Not at all. But I'm not the biggest fan of leaving my face just completely flat. Looking at this right here, the skin has a glow, my skin looks even, but to me, it truly looks like it's just one tone going on, and I know that's not natural. So to take things a little further, I really enjoy a bright under eye. One of the reasons why I bake is because I love a bright under eye. The problem is, my complexion with Nars is medium dark 2. And foundations, that's Tahoe, and concealers, that's caramel. This is what my foundation looks like, or my concealer looks like when I match my skin tone in caramel, medium dark 2. I want to see if you all can see this. My favorite concealer from Nars is medium 2. Remember, I'm medium dark 2, but I love this medium 2 concealer in the shade Ginger. But she would be way too bright to use today and look really, really natural. Could I wear her? Could I pull her off? Yes. But I've noticed on the days that I did wear it, Ginger is this top shade here. On the days that I did wear this, it looked a little bright to the point where I could notice it once I tried to blend it out on the sides. So what we're gonna go in with today is a shade much closer to my complexion because I wear medium dark too. Today we're gonna test out medium dark 1.5. I don't even know how you pronounce that. It looks like Sucre d'Orge or Sucre d'Ogre. I'm not sure, honey. But I'm gonna put the 1.5 in the middle so you can see where that color would be a nice blend of the two. So the shade we're gonna use today is that shade right there in the middle. On the top is medium 2. In the middle is medium dark 1.5, and on the bottom is medium dark 2. So we're gonna take that 1.5. Baby, I almost went straight into that and did forget I need me a disposable wine because this 1.5 is not the one I use for myself. I used to use this on clients. So I'm gonna just take a disposable wine, and because the only area I'm truly worried about is underneath the eyes, that's the only place we're putting it. When I first tested out this routine, I used my Sigma E40 Max because she's just a really large blending brush. You can use whatever brush you care for. And I'm trying to see where can I put this little bad boy down at because I don't want to get it all over stuff. Got me a little tray right here. Just in case we need a little more of that concealer, we can come back. But we're just gonna take this large fluffy blending brush. I've been looking for this mirror for the longest. And I just wanna take this and blend it directly underneath the eye and just down far enough to make sure that we don't have a harsh line. I am not looking to get a full Instagram under eye going. Just literally. Because I like my under eyes to be a little brighter than the rest of the face, we're going to take this and buff this out. And now that I've done this again with this brush, she's truly getting the job done, as you can see. But next time I really see me going in and testing it out with the brightening concealer brush from Real Technique. It's just that this is what I've been using, and I want to try to stick to the routine because I know how things are going to work by doing it like this. And you can see on this side, just by going half a shade lighter than my complexion, it gives me just a little bit of brightness underneath the eye. Nothing dramatic, nothing that screams Instagram, but it's a little lighter than natural and enough to make me go, yes, ma'am, I'm feeling cute. I'm not gonna take this on top of the lid because I don't feel as if it's necessary. And by having the under eye slightly darker than the top of the lid, to me, it makes it look like you have a tiny bit of brown shadow. Nothing harsh, nothing dramatic, just literally swiping, blending, and just keeping it moving. Last step for complexion is, because we have this bright under eye, I need just a little more structure to my face. And you all know, my favorite contour powder, baby, she getting dry, she getting low. Look at this. I've been using her so much, I love her. The thing is, I've been trying to tell myself, Torrence, if you love the powder version so much and you have the cream version, why not test her out? So this here is the KVD Shade and Light Cream Contour Powder, cream contour in the shade Chocolate. Tested her out and she was absolutely fabulous. The thing is, she is a little dry and she is a little stiff, but I don't know if that's the original formula or if it's because I've had her for a little bit and she's been in the closet. No, she's been in the file cabinet, not the closet, but she blended beautifully. I'm using my Color Rain small angle face brush. Sigma has a brush like this, but it was way too dense. I needed something light and fluffy, and this fits right in there, just like boom, boom, boom. I like to press her in, make sure my brush has plenty of product on it. And it's not much, but when I tell you this stuff blends so well, I'm gonna go in, do my cheekbones first. And at first you see it leaves a little streak because that's just how I like to do, man. I just like to make sure I can put it down and see where she's at. And we're gonna do this on both sides first because I like to place down the product and then I like to blend her out later. Okay, and now look at how fast cheekbones are coming through. It's one of those products where you can barely see yourself putting it on, But as you slowly start to build it up and out, she really comes through. So it's like, I know a lot of people like those really soft, really creamy powders. Really creamy contours and bronzers. But I find for me that those build up way too fast. And by me having to go in and press my brush rather hard, it makes it difficult to overdo it. And you see, I'm going in and getting just the softest amount of bronze around the edges and perimeter of my face. I'm gonna do the same thing on this jawline, because baby, it's like when you first put it on, it's like, wait, is something there? I see a little bit. And I always tell people, just start blending and keep going. Trust me, you will catch up as you add and add. You do not want it to be too strong where you gotta take it back off. It's like with black eyeshadow. And I just don't want a line of demarcation, so I'm just making sure I hit this whole outer perimeter of the face. And you see how she is just slowly but surely coming through. I'm gonna buff her up a little bit, give us a little jawline. Yes, ma'am, coming through. And just because I like to contour my chin and nose, I feel as if it makes it stand out and give it a slightly more feminine look. We want to bronze out this double chin, honey. I look forward to anything I can see peeking out past this. Gonna get a little bronzer, honey. Look forward. Do I still see her peeking a little bit? Go back in some more, honey. And one last dip. I'm gonna try to move some of that off the back of the hand, just so we don't have too much product. And we're gonna come up the side of the nose. Just the lightest amount of product. Because I want things to look snatched, but not like I put in too much effort to do so. We're just gonna press the sides and let a natural highlight come on the top. Bam! Look at that. And I'm telling you, honey, if this was, say, like a normal day where I wasn't on camera and I just wanted a little bit more, I personally believe I could go in and give myself a little more brighter under eye. But it's like, honey, we almost through. I'm sitting back like, Torrence, do you really want to put on a little mascara? But it's like, normally I don't. So you know what? We're not going to do it today. We're going to say skip it. We're going to just come back, and I want to just get a little more comfortable just so you all can see. Oh, that's what we forgot to do. Clean up the lips, honey. So let me wipe this off. Because I like a nice clean soft lip. And what we're going to do is go in with our Cream Shop and Hello Kitty lip balm. I'm like, Torrence, I know we're forgetting something. Normally I would go in with a lip gloss or something like that, but I'm like, today I don't feel like going and doing anything extra. And I done cut my nails off like I told y'all in the last video, so doing swatches is gonna be easier. Trying to get a little product out of something, you're gonna have to grab this little spatula right here. I almost double dipped there, baby. Let me grab it off the other side and close this up. And baby, we are 27 minutes in, it looks like. And we about to be through. All I gotta do is put a little bit more lip balm on. And I'm telling you, if I wasn't on camera, it would have been easy to do this in half the time because I don't have to explain it. I don't have to be in view. But I had to show you all how fabulous this looked with you standing right here without me cutting away, without you. Oh, did he add this? Did he sneak and do this? Did he do this? Baby, you can see it all for yourself right here. And let me come close and give y'all a look at this. Do you see that under eye? My under eyes crease all the time. Do you see those lids? I have oily lids. I have hooded eyes. But because we use this primer can't guarantee that you will never crease, but it can help reduce the chances of creasing. So if you go back across some of my old videos, you'll look and see, I have under eye lines. I have creases on the top of the lids. But to be able to give my skin a beautiful glow like this, no highlighter, blush is my favorite part of the face complexion part because I absolutely love color. On the days I'm not wearing eyeshadow, I always wear blush. But I figured blush would give me that look of, oh, you're really wearing makeup now. And when I stop and look at this, it's like, come on, honey. Glowy skin, dimension, because I have structure, I have bronzer, I have highlights, so it isn't one flat color. By not doing my brows and my lashes, it gives you just a slightly more natural look. Could I go in with mascara? Yes, but I'm headed out and I know I'm gonna put a mask on. So for me to be able to step back and be like, honey, this is natural, this is beautiful, I'm loving it, but my camera about to cut off, so I hope you all truly did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also leave me a comment down below if you would like to see more tutorials like this, but I don't want my camera to cut off on us. So with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye YouTube.